Just thought we'd spend a few moments considering what sort of tools you might want to use in your garden. One thing not to do is take the advice of someone selling tools to you, because they'll sell you all sorts of things you may never use. My favourites are pretty simple. My favourite of all is this hoe. This is an old English hoe. I bought it from a Sunday market. It's lost a bit of steel, but it's just a wonderful thing whenever we're chipping, moving dirt around, forming up beds, all sorts of things. This one is just right for me. Handle length's good, the weight is good. If you're a smaller person, you may want a smaller one. The bigger you are, the longer the handle, but hoe, you need that as part of your gardening arsenal. Smaller weeding jobs, I use something like this little Dutch hoe, which is really good for when the weeds are small, just cutting them off just below ground level, and you can get around the plants tenderly there without doing much damage. So that's sort of a weeder. Another tool that I love to use is another old one. We just call this the fork hoe. This is wonderful when you're looking to prepare ground. It's really easy to use, easy on the back, and you can get through a lot of work that way in aerating the soil or moving the soil around, once again forming beds. And I don't know, then the different ways I can find to use it seem to be growing each season. When you're moving a lot of soil around, you'll want to use a shovel or a spade. This one's my favourite. It's actually a post hole digging shovel. Most people prefer to use a spade, but I like this one because it's solid, the blade doesn't flex, and the handle is long, so I've got plenty of leverage. So if I'm digging a trench or I'm wanting to turn over the soil, it's very easy for me to do that using my foot and the long handle. If I'm turning compost or filling wheelbarrows or moving even more soil around, digging a wide trench, I'll use this one, which I can move a larger volume of soil at any one time. A couple more things. One is the rake. A garden rake with good strong tines is wonderful for levelling beds or hooking rocks out of the soil as you're preparing beds, or many uses for rake in the garden. And then lastly is a good solid fork. I prefer to fork wherever possible, simply because the four tines going down in the soil cause less damage to the soil, and if anything, less disturbance to our soil bug mates down there. So a good fork with good solid tines that aren't going to bend very easily is a really valuable tool in the garden. And last but definitely not least is the good old wheelbarrow. Anytime you need to move a soil or compost or sawdust or chips or anything around in your garden, a good solid wheelbarrow is absolutely spot on piece of equipment. Happy gardening.